All right, for number 2, it says this funny looking symbol over here is called the greatest integer function. And let's go to the bottom of the page. There's a footnote over there. And not everyone's familiar with that. But they say computer science is often referred to as a floor function. And that's typical, that we have floors to numbers. And it states that the greatest integer, and this is I like this symbol better, by the way. And it looks like, to me, it looks like the floor or something. And you can imagine if that's the floor, the ceiling would look like this over here, right? Floor and ceiling. Anyway, it says not larger than x. In the C language, this is often called just floor. So I'm going to say, I think I understand that. And if I were, to visualize that, I want to point out visualizing that the floors of numbers would be something like this over here. It would look like a staircase to me. So I'll put a dot here. That's the number 0, and the floor is 0, 0. As we move up, though, you're moving up. The first number you hit, the number 1, what's going to happen is going to jump. And this would be a solid thing here with a circle here. Then it's another thing, it staircases itself forever and ever and ever. When you go in the other direction, it's going to look like this over here. All right, something like that, staircase. Now, you may have seen the function before. All right, so I'm reading it. Now they want me to do something. What am I going to do? They want to graph this nightmare out. So what I'm going to do is go to the whiteboard. And this is problem number 2. And what's number 2 going to be? F of x equals, it's going to be x minus the floor of x. I'm going to write it down this way over here because it's easier for me to write that down. And then squared. And they want it on the interval where x is between -2 and 2. Well, time to think. So I want to go back to graphing the floor function out again. And graphing it out, I want to point out, I'm going to put a solid dot here. That's going to be 1. Solid dot here, up to 2. And I'm going to stop there, by the way. Well, you know what? I can't stop there. I got to go up here because there's a point there, right? All right, that goes there. So I'm going to go the other direction, too. By the way, this is 3 over here. You can imagine that this is 1, and that's 2 up there. Let's do this one over here. Again, I'm trying to do the best job in drawing the picture. And it's going to look something like this over here. And let me just put this, it's going to be -1 here and -2. And I think I got the picture of what it looks like. So what I need to do is I need to start writing down what f of x looks like. And f of x is going to equal something. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to look at. And the first thing I want to look at is I want to look at this guy right over here. So I'm going to say it equals x minus something. Now looking at this over here, I want to say that this appears to be -2. So what's minus a -2? It's going to be +2 squared. Now where's this going to be true? This is only going to be true if the x is on the interval between -2, I'm looking at the picture, by the way, up to -1, but not touching -1. Let's go to the next one. There's going to be 5 of them, by the way. Let's do this one over here. What's going to be x minus, well, this appears to be -1 over here. So -1 is +1, that's squared. If x is between -1 and 0, but not touching it. All right, let's keep moving. What's the next one going to be? It's this guy over here, and that's going to be 0. So let's write that down. X minus 0 squared if the x is between 0 and 1, but not touching the 1. Let's put the next one down. And again, we just did this one. We're doing this one now. What's going to be x minus 1 squared if x is on the interval between 1 and 2, but not touching 2. All right, let's go to the next one. Well, kind of weird to me, right? It's going to be x minus 2 squared if x is on the interval. Well, you know what? I got to stop at 2, so I'm going to say x equals 2 now. All right, that's not so bad. So here's my problem. I got to graph this out. And I'm going to start easy. And what I want to do is, I'm going to do one at a time, by the way. And the one I want to do first is this one right over here. all right? So I'll draw my little picture. We're not looking for perfect pictures, by the way, but that's just simply x squared, and it's between 0 and 1. So I kind of, my best ability to do that, by the way, it looks like this over here. It looks like a parabola. It goes like this over here, and then at 1 it stops. What does it stop at? It goes up to 1. All right, this one's done. All right, the next one, let's see. Oh, just another parabola, isn't it? And that, the vertex would be at 1 now. And it looks pretty easy to do. I'll put this one down. Starts here, and it goes up. Let me point out what we're doing. We're doing this one now. And it goes up to 2. And it looks like this over here. And again, it has a vertex where x is equal to 1. It looks like this over here. And then it stops there. And that's going to stop at the number. When it hits 2, it's actually like 1 squared. We're just going to stop at the 1, not touch it. All right, now let's go to the next one. And the next one looks like this guy over here, which looks like I got to put something down there, don't I? So what happens at 2? So if x is equal to 2, you can get a solid dot, and that's all you're going to get here, a solid dot here. All right? So I'm going to make sure that looks okay to me so far. I need this okay over here. And let's put the next one down. And this is also a parabola with a vertex at -1 now. Put this over here. That's -1. And at -1, that's going to be 0. That's where the vertex is. And then what happens? It's a parabola, opens upward, and there's going to be an open circle here now because it does not touch the 0. So that one's been done. Let's do the last one, which is this guy right over here. And what's that going to look like? It's going to have a vertex at -2. -2. It touches that. And this parabola, that's where the vertex is, something like this over here. And now we're done. And that's the picture of it. Thank you.